Should we run to the video Boobawamba Explained? Okay, let's see how long it is. Boobawamba Explained. 7-minute video. I'll look at part of it.
If you're like me, you've probably been seeing Boobawamba all over in Geometry Dash's social circles right now, and it's for good reason. This mysterious memory level just got moved up to the number 3 spot on the all-rated extreme demon list, after initially being placed in top 15 upon its verification 6 months ago, October 5th of 2024, by the player East Shark 1. But what's all the fuss about? Why did this level seem to shoot up the list so drastically out of nowhere, and what makes it worthy of being the 3rd hardest level on the demon list? What is a Boobawamba?
Yeah, I don't know. The entire level concept looks pretty cool. I mean, if you understand how the level works, it isn't really RNG though, is it?
First, I want to talk about the name, whose origin is quite interesting and is rooted in googology, the mathematical study of large numbers, their properties, and their names. Boobawamba is a real number, and it's the name given to represent this number.
Boobawamba is equal to 10, 10, 100, using an array of operator, and okay, hell no. Fucking math. Fuck that shit.
I have heard of a Google before, of course being the gigantic number Google based its search engine name off of, but there are much larger numbers, and some of them have really interesting and funny names, such as Boobawamba. If you know a lot about googology or can put the number Boobawamba in terms a layman would understand, please leave a comment below. Boobawamba was originally placed on the demon list at spot number 14 in October of 2024, shortly after being bumped down 1 spot when Anathema was added to the list, where it stayed all the way until February.
Oh, that's how you pronounce it? Anathema? Dude, every time anathema is how I kept pronouncing it. I read the Googology wiki for 1 hour and still didn't understand.
2025, when it was moved up to spot number 11.
Anathema? What?
Down 1 spot when Andromeda was added to the list.
Oh, hold on. Google. You said it's hold on. Hold on. Anathema.
Anathema.
Okay, you said Greek.
Anathema.
Anathema. Okay.
Just a month later. However, this month, April of 2025, it made its most drastic moves, going from spot number 12 to 9, and only 6 days later, being moved up to spot number 3, where it now stands. But
yeah, he's the guy who verified it's the only one who's beaten it, right? Or am I wrong? He's the only one who's beaten it so far, right? East Shark? Interesting.
Up the list, especially so drastically now.
Longest level without victors.
Huh. To its name to this very day.
Okay.
I personally can't pinpoint the exact reason, and it's all speculation at the end of the day, but I think as more eyes get on the level, the more people have the opportunity to understand the level's unique memory gimmick, which undoubtedly adds an entirely different level of difficulty. As I dove into learning about this level, I was blown away to find out not only is the gameplay
over 400 days
and absolutely obscure visuals, but lying deep within the very foundations of the level is a completely unique and mind-boggling memory gimmick that not only...
Yeah, I mean, when I watched this the other day, I saw the ending, and I knew it looked weird as fuck and was, like, different, but I did not get that it was this weird and this fucking unique. I'm just trying to see how the fuck this works, because it just doesn't make sense to my small brain.
The player's eyes peeled for hints throughout the level that they must keep track of and remember. Allow me to explain the most interesting and incredible part, at least in my opinion, of Boobawamba. Most people don't seem to know this, especially when just casually viewing the verification or gameplay showcases of Boobawamba, but hidden throughout the level's deco are 5 different objects.
This is what Orkin says. There's something about 5 different objects working for that end piece, right?
Of these objects are randomized. We will call these objects 1 through 5. It is important as you play through the level to keep track of which object has appeared and which has not, and you must remember this until the very end of the level, where you will have to utilize this knowledge to open the gate which prevents your exit. Before we talk about how that's done...
Okay, that's actually kind of cool, because I know it's weird and unique, but that's kind of cool because you kind of actively have to think about the level. You can't just muscle memory your entire way through it. You have to actively be paying attention to everything that's happening. I low-key, I like that. I think that's cool.
Objects in question. Object number 1 is 2 small gray spikes in the background sitting here, bottom right of this black orb at about 13%. Object number 2 is this saw blade attached to a stick above the ship as it slides on this platform at about 34%. Object number 3 is this long black stick in the foreground while the robot is falling at 45%. Object number 4 is 2 giant black structures in the foreground with spikes on the bottom shown at 56 and 60-ish%.
Okay, that's
And
crazy.
finally, object number 5 is this large black cross in the foreground as your ball changes gravity via the blue orb around 67%. Now that you know what objects you will need to keep a lookout for during the run, you are ready to tackle the access code puzzle that will open the gate allowing you to exit. That is, if you manage to make it there in the first place. After watching your icon plunge deeper into the depths of Boobawamba, you are met with a series of difficult robot jumps, each with a screen in the background before them. Each screen will show a number from 1 to 5, and just like the appearance of our objects, the order of the numbers shown is randomized each run.
Okay, that makes sense now. So basically, you got the 5 objects you need to make sure are there or not, and then at the end, whether the objects are there or not. So it's kind of like a layered memory section where you got to pay attention and actively look at what the number is when you get there. And you got to correlate that number to whether that piece was there or not on the beginning of the level. So you almost have the full first part of the level is a section in itself, and then that section correlates over into the end section, and if you don't pay attention to the first section, you lose the second section.
Jumps is accompanied by one of 5 toggle triggers. If one of the objects does not appear during the run, then you must activate the toggle trigger for that corresponding number. For each object that
okay, that's cool
appear,
as fuck.
You will not activate that number's corresponding toggle trigger. Only when you have input the correct code via toggle triggers during the end sequence will the gate open, allowing your icon to escape and you to beat Boobawamba. As an example, let's say during our run we notice objects 1, 2, and 5, but 3 and 4 do not appear. During the final sequence, when the screen shows 3 or 4, we must activate those toggle triggers and none of the others. Doing so correctly will open the final gate. And that, I think, is what is causing this level to be considered so difficult, considered worthy of its current positioning. Not only do you have to play one of the most visually obscured memory levels ever created, with top 10 worthy difficult gameplay packed with frame perfects, you also have to visually locate and keep track of elements within that obfuscation, and then on the fly apply that to a puzzle at the very end of your journey, all of which is completely randomized every time you start a run. As time keeps moving forward, I know I will be keeping a close eye on Boobawamba.
That's low-key cool. I like that. It's very interesting. That's unique. It's a cool concept overall. I mean, yeah, it's not really a skill, but it's more of you gotta actively care about what you're doing. You gotta actively be involved in the level or else you're gonna fail. You can't auto-pilot. From what I can understand, the Googology wiki, a Boobawamba is just an extremely large number that is calculated through the stated BEAF. It is one of the biggest ways to make a number large, like a power tower or up arrow, etc. Okay, that makes sense.